Hi friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel Mechanical Engineering Exams Made Simple. Friends, in your third topic of TSPSC AMVI syllabus automobile engineering, there is a topic called automobile maintenance and servicing, and also in that half part, below half part is electrical technology. That means complete electrical syllabus. In that, ignition system is a very important topic, friends. You can expect very good number of questions, at least one or two questions from this particular topic of ignition system, right? There are basically three types of ignition systems. One is the battery ignition system, number two magneto ignition system, number three electronic ignition system. So if you go through this particular magneto ignition system, we are having, these are the components, a magneto, and then your what you call this contact breaker, then your condenser, then your ignition switch, then your rocker arm, okay, then your finally spark plug. This is also called distributor, right? So electricity is generated in the magneto, and your condenser is going to prevent the arc, and the ignition switch is going to start the ignition or start the current to flow, and your distributor is going to distribute the spark ignition pulses to each and every spark plug in the order in which the firing order takes place in the engine. For example, for 4-stroke engine, 1342 is the firing order. That means first the power stroke takes place in the first cylinder, then your third cylinder, then fourth cylinder, then second cylinder, like that. Okay. So let us see some good questions about this particular topic, ignition system, friends. So the three components of primary ignition circuit are, what are these? They are actually the contact breaker, ignition switch, and condenser. Right. Next, the components of secondary ignition circuit include the secondary winding of ignition coil, distributor rotor, distributor cap, and what is the other thing? So this is your spark plug. Alright friends, the primary winding of ignition coil consists of, so is it few turns of thin wire, or many turns of thin wire, or few turns of thick wire, or many turns of thin wire? So it is going to consist of a few turns of thick wire, but whereas secondary will have many turns of thin wire. That is the difference between secondary winding and primary winding. Next friends, contact breaker points are generally made of this tungsten. This material is very important, friends. Contact breaker points are normally made of tungsten. Tungsten is normally used for preventing the corrosion resistance. It has a good corrosion resistant property. The dwell, what is this dwell? It is actually time duration. So what is the time duration? The dwell is actually the time for which the points remain closed. The points will be either open or closed. So the time for which the points, contact breaker points, are remain closed is called your dwell period. Now excessive contact breaker gap results in what problem? Is it advanced timing or increased dwell, or plus a rapid burning of points? So is it plus or minus? If that, what is that? So this excessive contact breaker gap results in advanced timing of the spark. Sometimes you need the advanced spark ignition, okay, to prevent your detonation and all those things. Again, it comes under your combustion theory in SI engine and CI engines. Okay, friends. So now the spark occurs when? Is it when the points close or points open, or ignition switch is on, or none of the above? So this is your points are open. When the points are, contact breaker points are open, the spark occurs. Just now we have seen the circuit for this particular ignition system, magneto ignition system. So in place of a battery ignition system, simply magneto is replaced by a battery. In the magneto ignition system, the electric energy required for the system to work is generated by the magneto itself. But whereas that means it is driven by a motor, engine. Okay, mechanical power is applied to the magneto by an engine. But whereas in the battery ignition system, the electrical energy is generated by way of the working of the electrolyte and all those positive plates and negative plates, etc. Okay, friends. So now here contact breaker points are opened. Contact breaker points are opened by the cam and closed by the which element? Is it same cam or centrifugal force or magnetic force or spring tension. It is because of the spring tension that the contact breaker points are opened by the cam but are closed by the spring tension. That is the correct answer. They are opened by the contact breaker points are opened by the cam but are closed by spring tension. That is the correct answer. Now, the dwell angle on a 6-cylinder engine compared to 4-cylinder engine. So, now there is a comparison for this dwell angle. So, is it more? Everything is calculated in terms of the crank angle, right? So, now is of the engine. So, now crankshaft angle, okay, rotation. So, now the dwell angle on a 6-cylinder engine compared to 4-cylinder engine, is it more or less or equal or sometimes less and sometimes more? What is this? It is actually less. Alright. The contact breaker gap is set most accurately by means of by which let us say a device or whatever it is. It is the contact breaker gap is correct set most accurately. Is it feeler gauge? Is it steel rule or dial gauge or dwell meter? So this is going to be set correctly by a dwell meter. Okay, friends. So dwell meter is the device required to set the contact breaker gap very accurately. Feeler gauge is used to normally measure the clearance between the engine cylinder and also the piston. So it is basically a combination of various thin plates of different sizes. That is your feeler gauge. Next question, friends. Contact breaker gap should be set. So when the contact breaker gap should be set? Is it before adjusting dwell angle or after adjusting dwell angle or first after starting the engine or after setting the spark plug gap? What is this? So it is to be set after adjusting the dwell angle. We have seen that dwell angle is a very, very important parameter. The capacity of an automotive engine condenser is approximately. So this is capacitor is normally measured in farads. That's the unit of capacity. So how much it is? Is it less capacitance or more? If that is the case, what is the value? Is it 0.2 micro means very less, and 2 microfarads a little more than that. 20 microfarads once again it's more than that. Now 2 millifarads. Micro is very small. So what is the correct answer for this? The capacity of an automotive engine condenser is approximately, this is set at 0.2 microfarads. Okay, friends. The ratio of the distributor shaft and crankshaft speed, how much is this? It was asked in your previous year also, right? So how much it is? Is it half or 1/4 or 2 or 1? The ratio of distributor shaft and the crankshaft speed is, it is 1/2. It should be half of the crankshaft speed. Distributor shaft speed is half of the crankshaft speed. If your crankshaft rotates at 400 rpm, distributor shaft should rotate at 200 rpm. The centrifugal advance mechanism provides ignition advance proportional to which parameter? Is it engine load or engine speed? Both engine load and speed or none of these? It is going to be actually engine speed is a very, very important here. While this centrifugal advance scheme mechanism provides ignition advance proportional to engine speed. This is the parameter. Now it is not proportional to engine load, neither both A and B. So engine speed is a very, very important thing here. Vacuum advance, there are various types of advanced methods. One is the centrifugal advance method and second one is the vacuum advance method. So now in vacuum advance mechanism operates at is it light engine load or heavy engine load or high engine speed or any of the above? This is your high engine load. Load and speed are very, very important for an engine. Friends, actually your engine operation is also going to be working with all these engine speed and load, right? So load will be more when it is taking more passengers. Your engine, for example, your automobile is having more number of passengers, or probably it is climbing up an hill. Your automobile is up an hill, and also speed is also very, very important. Speed and load are very, very important parameters for the engine working, right? Now ignition timing can be adjusted by what? Is it accurate clock or stopwatch or stroboscopic light or vacuum gauge? This is going to be controlled by, adjusted by stroboscopic light. Stroboscopic light, neither vacuum gauge or stopwatch, accurate clock, no. The commonly used material for insulator of spark plug is, this is a good question, friends. Is it bakelite, asbestos, aluminium or copper? This is your Alumina. Alumina is the correct answer. It is the used the this is the material used for the insulator of a spark plug. Now, compared to the life of a spark plug of two-stroke engine, the spark plug of a four-stroke engine is approximately, is it same or twice or one half or none of the above? It is twice. Two-stroke engine, actually it is going to rotate at number of strokes, number of power stroke, number of what you call power strokes will be double in case of a two-stroke engine. That's why even the power is also approximately 1.875 times or approximately twice that of the power generated by a four-stroke engine for the same speed. Okay, friends. Now, a spark plug may be followed by which substance? Is it petrol or oil or lead or all of the above? This is your all of the above. All of the above. That means oil, petrol, or lead can all may foul a spark plug. Next, spark plug having white insulator tip indicates. What is this color of the insulator tip? White color indicates. Is it due to over advanced ignition or retarded ignition or leaded fuel or gas leak? This is your over advanced ignition. If the advance is more than the required, so definitely the spark plug will be having white insulator tip. Right. Now, otherwise it will be black. So a spark plug with a black center insulator indicates what? Over advanced ignition, simply reverse. Retarded ignition, a stuck up choke valve in the carburetor or excessive dwell. This is actually C. Stuck up choke valve in the carburetor. So these are, friends, very, very important questions. So please go through them. And in the next video, we are going to deal with some more very, very important questions from your Assistant Motor Vehicle Inspector Automobile Engineering second paper for either TSPSC or APPSC. Once again, let us meet in the next video. Bye.